4 p.m., so we'll start with the session. Hi, guys. Welcome to the seventh edition of the Hirist Tech Talks. My name is Abhor, and I'm a part of the marketing function at Hirist.com. And I'm extremely delighted to have all of you join us today, right on time at 4 p.m., guys. Some of you guys were here for the last few webinars, and some of you guys are here for the first time. If you'd like to check what you've missed in the earlier episodes, make sure that you check out the chat box. I'll share all their links. We today have the pleasure of conducting the seventh edition of the series in collaboration with the tech leadership at Newton School. Gaurav Kapadia, who's the lead engineer at Newton School, will be leading this session today. Guys, Gaurav is an IIT Roorkee graduate, and he aims to engineer more human-centric codes in order to enable students and mentors to tap into easier and more dynamic systems. Gaurav has created several processes and flows in products that are adoptable and easy for millions of visitors. So today, guys, he'll be sharing his thoughts on the topic, how Google search works. Before we start, I request you all to post all the questions that you have in the Q&A box on the right-hand side corner. Gaurav sir will be taking as many questions as possible, obviously towards the end of the webinar. Guys, the chat box on the left-hand side is enabled. Please make sure that you use the Q&A box. Without any further ado, guys, I think we should get right into the topic of discussion. So over to you, Gaurav. Please take this forward.
Thank you, Vibha, for such a generous introduction. Hey, everyone. I'm Gaurav Kapadia. A little bit about myself. I'm 2015 IIT Roorkee graduate. After graduation, I joined Target, where I got a chance to work in lot many open source technologies like Kafka, GraphQL, Docker, Kubernetes, Java, AngularJS. And then after working 3 years here, I joined a startup called Bolo, which was in which it was a question answer platform in which answer was given in 1 minute video or so. Then we pivoted it from Bolo to the Newton School, and the journey about Newton School have been quite interesting till now. I will be sharing my screen now. Brief description about what Newton School is. So Newton School is a platform in which we help developers or the future developers to upskill so that they can take their what career choices in their own hand. And if I go forward, yeah. So we offer we have kind of three main things that we are offering. First is the income sharing agreement courses, then the public contest, and then the launchpad. I will talk in detail about the income sharing agreement courses just in a bit. First, I will talk about the public contest. The public contests, they are like the DSA contests that happen once in a month. And we get about approximately 10,000 registrations. The questions that come in this public contest are created by what we say ICPC finalists. We have a team of really good ICPC finalists who curate these questions, and there's a prize money of 20,000. Which is distributed among the top five contestants, and then we also give small 100 rupee vouchers to the people who have stopped 100 chosen randomly, the people who completed at least one question. Then we have the launchpad. The launchpad is something in which we offer free courses. The courses that are here on the launchpad are curated by lead tech experts. They are very good for the beginners. Like if anybody want to learn Java or Python from scratch, we have not free courses there. At the end of the course, you can download the certificate saying that you have completed that. Now jumping to the main part that is the income sharing agreement courses. So under the income sharing agreement courses, we kind of provide three income sharing agreement courses. First one is the full stack development. In the full stack development courses, we in the full stack development course we take in students who are in fourth year or who have just graduated, have less than 1 year of experience. They kind of we give them after this is a 6 months course. After they take the course, they get they what we say CTC jump like 2 or 3 times from what they were getting. If they were not getting nothing, then we guarantee kind of like that they will get at least 6 LPA. Then we have Newton School for Women. So a lot many times for the women, it happens that they were working in tech because of some family reason. They have to leave their jobs and for the family. Then they want to come back to the industry. So this course is specifically for those women. The age is no bar. Anybody, any age woman can take part, and we will kind of like teach them the basics of the full programming and try to have them place a place in the companies. Then we have the courses for experienced professionals. These are the a bit advanced courses in which people who have already worked for like couple of years can take part and enhance their skill. Not talking about the full stack. So what is the kind of like the journey that happens in these courses? We have the daily life classes, then we have we give the life projects. Then to each student, there's a person mentor. We kind of we maintain the ratio of 1 to 10 to the mentor, and this mentor takes the regular mentor sessions, and then they have one-to-one interaction with the mentor on regular basis, like twice a week. And the mentor session happens twice a week, and the regular one-to-one interaction happens once a week. Then we have internal contests, hackathon. These are like all automated, like how we have the public contests. Similarly, internal contests are there to boost up the skill of the students. Then for the end part is the interview preparation. Under the interview preparation, we give them the 10 plus, nearly 10 plus mock interviews with the industry experts who are experts in taking interviews. These interviews help them to prepare for the industry level interviews, and also kind of like tell them what are their drawbacks and all. If I go forward now, the thing is like, what is income sharing agreement? So all the income sharing agreement courses are free till you get a job. Okay, so there is no upfront fee, zero upfront fee. If someone tells you that Newton School take the fee, we don't take any fee, upfront fee till you get a job. Once you get a job, if let's say we had an agreement of like 5 plus LPA, 5 plus LP you will get. Then if you are getting less than that, we will not be taking any fee. If you're not getting a job within an year, we will not be taking a fee after that. If you get more than five LPA, let's say, then only we will be taking that fee. And that you have to pay in the next 24 months in in installments. Okay, cool. So if these are our hiring partners in which our what we say students have been placed. These are few of the companies in which students have been placed: Topper, Unacademy, 7-Eleven, Jumbo Tier, Zomato, to save few. So going forward, so now I will jump into the what we say the topic of the webinar today. So how does Google search works? So frankly speaking, there have been books written on it. So and to say that I will cover how does the Google search work in next half an hour would be really difficult to say. But the basics of any search, or even the Google search, are the same. So try to think in your words. Like if 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 you if you are going for an exam or something, then what do? You kind of like go through all the paper, uh, go through all the book material that you have. Okay, you memorize it, and once you memorize it, if the question comes up, you kind of think like, what was the answer to this question? Literally, every search works like this. The first part is the crawling, memorizing, in which, in the technical term, we say crawling. Then is the memorizing the stuff that we have crawled. It is called indexing. Then after you hear the question, you come up with an answer. Here, a query comes to the comes to the index part. Then you rank the pages accordingly. And there are a lot many algorithms that rank the pages for the Google and other search engines. First, I will take up on the crawling. So what is crawling? So as I said, like crawling is like as you're reading a book, you're crawling the book. Okay. Similarly, we have programs called spiders. So what does those spider program do? They crawl the web page, they read the web page. So once they read one web page, they take out the links to the adjoining web pages. So let's say, like in the example given here, my spider program is reading the example.com. In the example.com, the program finds example.com slash page one dot html and page two dot html, page two dot html. So after reading the whole of this page, it will jump to the next page one by one. So this is kind of like this is called interlinking. And interlinking is very important for crawling. So so interlinking, so this is kind of like interlinking. So the next question is comes up like, how am I going to, like, I'm writing a, let's say, a website, I want Google to crawl my page. Okay, so how do I get to it to crawl my page? The first thing that is interlinking. So you can say that you can say that like how does interlinking work? The best example of this is a news feed. Okay, you can take example of any news publication like New York Times. Okay, so the New York Times have the front page. Okay, so any new article that comes on the front page, okay, has a link in the front page. So our crawler keep on reading that front page, keep on finding the new links, and through those new links, we kind of like pick up those new pages that comes up. This is how our news feed, Google is able to know every each and every update. Okay, so so these pages are kind of like very trustworthy pages. The New York Times homepage, mean to say, is a very trustworthy page. Okay, we trust that organization to put the correct information. So Google also trusts that. So that way we keep on finding the new page. Okay, sometimes what happens is like if there is a page where there is no interlinking, these are like called virtually invisible page. You can see a page on the bottom right is a virtually invisible page. It has no interlinking to existing pages. So how do we find this kind of pages? For those, we have something called Google Search Console. So Google Search Console is a console given by the Google. Okay, in there what we say, some in there we can like put any URL to see if Google has already uh, Google has already indexed my page or not. Okay, so here I have taken an example of newtonschool.co/hello. No such page exists. Okay, I just kind of like put in a request to see if this page is kind of like indexed or not. Okay, so when I clicked on to test the live URL, okay, the Google told me that it has never indexed this page because this doesn't exist. Let's say if I create such a page, okay, and then I want to have it indexed. Okay, so I can request a index by clicking on request index page. If I go to my next slide, here you can see the example of one of the pages that is already indexed, like newtonschool.co/launchpad. So it has been there. It has lot of interlinks to this page. So Google, of course, read it without even me asking it. So if when I did the URL inspection, did the test live URL, it gave me the information that this page can appear on the search result. Okay, let's say if I make any update to this page, and I don't know what is the frequency of Google bot or Spider when this page will be crawled next. So for that part, we can request the indexing for that page anytime, moving many times. So this is how kind of like I can request my new website to be crawled on the Google Search Console. But this kind of mechanism is possible for a very small website. Like if I have like 10 pages or okay, let's say even if I have 20 pages, then only I can go on to the Google Search Console, pick up one by one of each link and request the indexing. But let's say if I have thousands of pages, like the good example of that is Quora, okay, in which you type in any question and that question is a new page. And after some time, you will recognize that that question comes up on the Google search also. So how does Google get to know so fast that there are like so many pages in a website that I have to read, I have to crawl each and every page. The first part is definitely the interlinking. But for such a big website, what do big companies maintain is something called sitemap. So I will be jumping to the next thing in which I can ask Google to crawl my website. So what are sitemaps? So sitemaps are the navigation maps in which we provide at the Google Search Console, asking Google to to read my to crawl my website one after another. Okay, so sitemap. This is like a small example.com sitemap that I have. Okay, in this one is a URL set. URL set is nothing but a tag in which I tell that these are the set of the URLs that you have to crawl. Okay, then each under each URL tag there are like majorly four what we say tags. The first one is a location. Under the location tag, you have to give the full URL with the if it is HTTP or HTTPS. The maximum length of location tag, the information in the location tag can be, I think so, 2048 characters. Okay, then comes the last modified date, the date on which the above link was modified, and then comes the change frequency. Like like after how much time the spider has to crawl this page again and again. So this is where this is from the one of the information from where we provide that information, and then there comes the priority. What is the priority of this page with respect to the whole website? So the last two tags that you see, the change frequency and the priority, these are like kind of like hints and not commands. Okay, so if you write even like if you write the change frequency always, okay, the Google will also do its own. This Google Spider will also do its own calculation to see does this page is changing regularly or not. Okay, and similarly, if it is not changing regularly, this will kind of will be a back impact on that link. Okay, and then comes the priority. Priority is also a recommendation. It is not a command saying that this page is a very much priority. Okay, if there is it has to range from 0 to 1, and the default value is zero point 0.5. Now this priority calculates within the website or within the sitemap that I have provided. Okay, so let's say if priority of one page is zero point 0.8, for other pages it is zero point 0.5. Okay, and for some pages it is zero point 0.2. Then I will say that this is the priority page. This is out of all the pages that are there. This page is the one that you have to crawl first. So the, and then so it is also important that I don't have to mention all the links on the sitemap. I have to mention just the main link, and from those main link using interlinking, the our spider program will find the different pages. And more interlinking you have, it is more good for your health, for the health of your searching of your website. Okay, then moving forward, it's sometimes we always have a question like I learned how Google crawlers or spiders are crawling my data. But sometimes what happens is I don't want Google to crawl my data. Then what to do? So for those also we have methods. The first method that is there is to add meta tags of name Roberts, or if you want a particular, you can pick up the particular bot called Google bot. Okay, so what does these meta tags do? So whenever what we say the spider comes on your web page, the first thing it does is read the metadata that is there in the header bar. Okay, in that metadata, if it finds any of such kind of instruction saying that saying that for if it is name equal to Roberts, that means this meta tag is for all the search bot that are there. That there can be Yahoo search bot and more kind of like. But if I have to set it for a particular search bot, like let's say I want the search result just only on the Google, but I don't want it on the Bing. Okay, so I will just write name equal to Bing bot, and I will kind of like restrict Bing to read my data. Okay, so once they come to my page, they kind of read this meta tags. Okay, then if they read this meta tag, they kind of like see. Okay, now I'm putting a command saying to all the bots saying that you don't have to follow my page. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's say from one page there was a link to my page. Okay, so if they read this no follow tag, they won't even follow this page. When I say won't even follow this page, it means that they will just read the tag, they won't even read the text or anything. Will do no analysis. Okay, but then comes no index page. Okay, what happens under no index page? So we have to still come to the part of indexing, but you can think of like how I told, like you read the book, then you memorize. So no index is no memorization. That you can read my page, you can analyze my page, you can see if everything is right on my page, but you cannot store this page in your database. So this is how kind of like instruction for each page I can give to the bots. Sometimes, let's say I have a uh, private section of my website that I want just for people who know that URL or something. Okay, after logging in, they just want to know that URL. So for those kind of things, we kind of like use these kind of tags. Okay, so this is for that. Now again the problem comes like I can maintain these tags on each and every page. Okay, but what about if I want to? I don't want to maintain on each and every page because this kind of put on weight on my page. Then what I will do is there's something called robots.txt. Okay, so in the robot.txt, if this file exists, then each and every what we say bot first read this file and abide by its rule. Okay, now here the example I have taken is quora.com/roberts.txt. In that you can see the user agent Google bot is disallowed from so many places. Okay, so in my website there is something called log page. I don't want Google bot to read it. Okay, so that is kind of like the thing that is sorry. So that is kind of like the thing that I'm asking Google bot to not index. Okay. Similarly, like in Quora, we have all questions, all posts, and such kind of what we say blogs, followers, following. These kind of what we say pages are there. If I go to my profile, I can see all the posts that I have written. Okay, or who all are my followers, who all I'm following. We don't want for each and individual user for Google bot to read it. So kind of like I can give this kind of thing and I can save my page in the page to write those meta tags. So this is a very detailed thing that I can do. If I like this from here, you can see just a Google bot. If I just close my presentation and go to the same link, so here you can see that for the user agent, we have the whole list. Okay, similarly for the other agents also like Bingbot, it is there. Then for the MSN, similarly there will be something for the Yahoo also. So for these kind of information, I kind of like ask them to not to read my pages. So this is how I can stop. Yeah, sorry. So this is how I can stop what we say bots to read my page. Okay, the next part, now the crawling part has been done by the spiders. Okay, what happens is now they are going to do the next part that is going to come is the indexing part. Okay, the memorization part. So what is the information I get? I cannot store it straightforwardly into my databases. I have to pre-process it. I have to clean it. Okay, so this pre-processing of the data in which we call documents, like each web page is called a document. Before we store in a database is called indexing. Okay, and each document that we store in the database is called an index. So this is how the thing works. So when I query something, I query the index of all the web pages that I have stored in my database. I don't query the web directly. I query the index. I query my database. So I'm going to talk about the very basic, what we say, very basic thing that we do in indexing. Okay, so let's say I have three documents. So first, three documents. Okay. So here documents are quite clean. There is no noise. But in real life, there is a lot of noise. Like there are HTML tags, there is bold X heading tags. So we have to like clean those tags. The first part of indexing is always cleaning up the noise. So once I clean up the noise, I get just the text part of the document. So like how I'm getting I have taken the three document here. The first document is the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. The next document, quick brown fox leaps over lazy dog in summer. The next, the fox quickly jumped over the bridge. Now, after cleaning up the noise, I just have the what we say the words or the characters of the document. The next part of the indexing comes or the cleaning of the data comes is like I have to clean up the stop words. Like how you see in the first sentence, the word the appears twice. So this word is kind of like a stop word. It doesn't really have any meaning. So we kind of like don't want to store the what we say the data regarding that. So there are like in English language, this is kind of like what we say the list of the stop words that I came across. So these are kind of like the stop words that are there. So you can see on the see that I, me, myself, we, our, ours. These are like all stop words. These really doesn't mean anything to us when we are searching. Like I don't want to search like me word most often. Okay. So for those kind of things, I have to remove the stop word. So the next part, after removing the stop word, you can see my sentences become bit clean. Like the first sentence, which was first sentence, the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Now it becomes quick brown fox jumped over lazy dog. So I have removed two the in the last also there was a the and in the second sentence there was a in. Okay, so after removing these kind of stop words, my documents become more clean. Okay, but now there's an example. The example, if you look at the word quick, okay, in the quick, the first sentence, it is plain and simple quick. Second sentence, it is again plain and simple quick. But in the third sentence, it is quickly. Okay, do we care about when someone is searching? Okay, do we care about the word if it the activity of the word or no? Sometimes yes, but most of the times we don't care about the word. Okay, so so I have to kind of bring this word to their base word to bring all the words which are like the what we say past or future tense or activity of some base word. We have to kind of remove those suffix. So that doing that part, we do it with a process called stemming or and lemmatization. So stemming and lemmatization are the like two different processes. Okay. In the stemming, what happens on the left hand side of the window, if you see, I have a small table. In the stemming, what happens is I just remove the suffix, then I just remain with the what is this the stem part. Okay. In the stem part, if you see, okay, like if you the example that I have taken is studies. Here here the suffix part is the es. If I remove it, I get with I get study, studi, not y, because this is the process of stemming. In stemming, I don't care about the base word. I just care about removing of the suffix. If I take the second example, study, in this study, ing is the suffix part. Okay, so ing part I will remove, and after removing the ing part, I'm left with the study part. So you can see the stemming is not perfect. Okay, that is why lemmatization came. So what is lemmatization? So each word that is formed from a base word, in this case, in lemmatization case, it is called lemma. Okay, so lemmatization understands the rules of the language. Okay, it knows, this process knows. Like if I am getting the word studies, I, language, it has the information that it is the present tense of the word study. Okay, so it will, from the studies, it will take out the lemma called study, and we get the lemma study. Similarly, for the study, I'm getting the lemma study. So in the lemmatization, I get uh, better cleaning than the stemming. Okay, so which process to choose to clean the data? It depends upon your requirements. If you want a very language specific cleaning, then surely you should go for lemmatization. But lemmatization is compute costly. Okay, because it has to store the rules and regulation of all the language. Then we have to kind of like search what is the base word. So that process is there. But in stemming, we have to just remove the suffix. So it all depends upon your requirement. But the Google, since it can afford what we say the compute, so it surely it does the lemmatization. Going forward, then after doing the lemmatization, the documents that I had becomes more clean. So the what we say, the last sentence that you see, previously the last sentence was Fox quickly jumped over the bridge. Over bridge, sorry. Fox quickly jumped over bridge. Now my after doing the lemmatization stemming, my documents become more clean, saying that Fox quick jump over bridge. Now you can see all the three sentences. They are at the base form. Okay, and if now, after getting all the documents cleaned up in the base form, what I will do is I will make a term matrix. Okay, so if I go, this is kind of like an example of a term matrix. Okay, so these are my what we say three original documents. After cleaning up, I created a term matrix, and with respect to the term matrix, I created a code. Okay, so you can see here very well that the quick word that was there comes in all the three documents. So I kind of like put an X part in there. Similarly, brown is there on the two documents, and then the dog is also there in two documents. Fox in all the three documents. Jump is there on the first and the third document. Lazy is there on the first and the second document. Leap is there on just the second document. Over and quick are again in all the documents. Summer is there in second, and bridge is there in the third document. Okay. So with respect to this term matrix, I came up with a code for the quick to see in which all document does this what we say word exist. Okay, so before doing this term matrix, there's one more activity that we do. Either we change, either we transform all the words to uppercase, or we transfer all the words to lowercase. Here I have done transformation to the words of the lowercase. Okay, so so coming back to the code part, so quick exists in all the documents. Okay, so it will be 111. Let's say there was fourth document, my code would have been 1110, and so on. It would have gone on increasing. At one point, definitely this method would not have worked. Okay, so there is always and improvement in the process that keeps on happening. Okay, so for the brown, it is 110, dog is 110, so on and so forth. This is just the one way of making the term matrix. You must be having a question like, I'm not taking in this term matrix, I'm not taking care of how many times the word is coming up, which is called the frequency of the word. The next is I'm not taking care of what we say, uh, at what position my word comes. Okay, does my what we say fox word come before jump, or does my fox word come after jump? This term matrix does not tell. Okay, so with respect to those conditions, I can make more sophisticated term metrics in which I will be storing more of data, which is and respectively I can make that code. Ultimately, with respect to one term, there is a code, and we when we have to search for that word, we kind of get to know like these are all the document in which that word exists. So this is how data is stored in the database. This is what an index is. Okay, so if I go forward in my slide, so here is an example of searching. Okay, now I memorized the book. So I crawl through the book, I memorize it. Now it's time of giving the exam. In that the question came, and I have to think of what we say the answer was. So this is kind of like a very small example how the search works. So if I search lazy summer, okay, so the process that happened to what we say that happened to the documents also happened to the query part. It's not so the query part also. Okay. So we remove the noise in the query part. Okay. And then we come up, we remove the stop words. Okay. Then we what we say then we do the lemmatization and everything. Okay. And then whatever the ultimate raw form of the query that we get, we convert into lowercase and then we search in our database. So that is how things are there. The process that happens to the document also happens to the query. Okay. So now what I'm going to going to search is lazy summer. In the lazy in my term matrix, I know lazy code for lazy is 110. That means it is there in document one, document two, but not in document three. Okay. For my summer, it is 010. That means it is there in document two only. Okay, if I do a AND function in the for the code, I get 010. That means both of the words are present in document 2. If I do a OR function, then I get to know that either one of the words is present in document 1 and document 2. Okay, so when I search, then I will be showing document 2 and document 1 as a search result and not the document 3 because both words doesn't appear. Okay, now the thing part is ranking. How I'm going to rank this? Okay, so for the ranking part, you can see in the end, I got to know the details are there in document 2. So I will rank document 2 more than document 1. So this is how, like, if you search in Google, you see the most relevant result at the top, then so and so forth. And there are like lot many pages that are there, documents are there. So this is how kind of like the indexing take place. We create an inverted index of the code that I have written here. Then we store into the database. Whatever the query comes, we search it into the documents and we take out the document. The next part of this, how do I rank these documents? Okay, so if I go forward, okay, so next part is ranking. So the ranking is the process. Sorry, yeah. So ranking is the process by which Google or any other search engine decides whether a particular piece of content should appear on search results or not. Okay, so if I have searched some query, If the words doesn't appear in the word in the document, I need not show that. Okay. But if those words appear, I have to kind of like rank with respect to how, with respect to thinking that Google has to think, Google bot has to think like what is the intention of that person to search it. The basic example is, let's say I'm thinking about Olympics location. Okay. So Google has to talk about which Olympics is he talking about? Is he talking about the present Olympics? Is he talking about the Winter Olympics or what we say Summer Olympics? So these kind of decisions are to be made by the ranking algorithm. The first ranking algorithm that Google came up was called the page rank algorithm. So the page rank algorithm is named after Larry Page, one of the founders of the Google. So how does the page rank algorithm work? At a very basic thing about the game, it calculates a score, also called as page rank, depending on what is the quality and the quantity of the links that points towards that page. Okay, so if I have like 10 pages pointing towards one page, okay, that is considered to be
Hey guys, I think we've lost Gaurav. I'm just getting in touch with him. I'll just get him back online. Something, some kind of technical glitch. While I'm getting in touch with Gaurav, guys, if you have any questions till now, the Q&A box is open. Please make sure that you drop your questions in the Q&A box on the right hand side. Great. I think Gaurav's there. We lost.
really sorry. Yup. I got my internet connection broke. Really sorry about that.
No issue, no issue.
Okay,
Gaurav, you
so
can
can you tell me at what time I got disconnected?
yeah, yeah. So I
Okay, okay. So
you
I will share my screen.
right. So I think you were on slide number 28, 27, 20. You were ending 27. You were about to reach 28.
Okay, cool. So, so I will just okay. I will just like I have low bandwidth.
So,
Right
so
now,
Gaurav,
I'm
I think
just what we say turn off my video.
your voice is cracking a little bit. I think it's because maybe you have an unstable internet
Okay,
connection.
okay. How
Gaurav, you're not audible.
yeah. Is it okay now?
It's a little better. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now I have a stable connection. So jumping back, okay, really sorry guys. So jumping back. So page, how does the page rank algorithm works? So page rank algorithm, like I was telling, like if the 10 links points to one page, it will be ranked higher then the page in which what we say four pages are pointing to the page. But there comes the quality of the link part also. Okay, if if one very highly trusted website points, this is just one link point towards my page, it will be ranked much higher than if the thousands of spam websites are pointing towards my one page. So this is how kind of page algorithm works. There's a what you say mathematical derivation also, but which if you guys are interested, I will surely talk about. Okay, moving forward. So how do I improve ranking of my page? Okay, so this process is called search engine optimization of your page. Like I have to so in this process there are a lot many points that are there, but I'm going to just talk about the ones that I have written here. So first part is the backlinks. The backlink is very similar to what I have talked about interlinking. Like if there are few trusted website pointing towards my page will be also counted as trusted, and it will come up on the search result. For the first start, before starting search engine optimization, I just want to say if I'm searching for a query and that query doesn't exist on my document will never come up. Okay, the ranking algorithm works on the documents in which your search query components are there. Okay, so that is the one first important thing for there. So you have to kind of like have your content and everything theme very correctly. Okay, the next part is sitemap and the internal linking. You have to kind of like make sure that you provide a sitemap at a Google Search Console, and internal linking of all the pages is there, so that when the my crawler comes, each and every page is kind of like crawled upon, so nothing is left. Okay, then the kind of like the very important part is the meta text or the title and the description. The title and the description is the main meta tag, and which is a window to my web page. Okay, so if I go to my, let's say, web page and I search, let's say, Newton School. Okay, so if I search Newton School, you can see this. So the first part, the URL comes. Okay, the next part is the title of the page, and the part that comes below is the description in the meta tag. Okay, so is kind of whatever you see here is kind of like a window to your page. So these meta tags are bit important. So title and the description meta tags are very important to as a window of your page. And the other part, the next part is the content of the page. The content of the page should be unique if you want it to be ranked higher. It's very similar to plagiarism that is there, plagiarism check that happens to your thesis or major projects in your college. Okay, if let's say if your report is plagiarized, the professor rejects it. Similarly, Google also checks that if your content is copied from some other page, your website is rejected. Your website come at below. Okay, so the content of the page is very important. The three things that are there: title, description, content. These have to be on the same lines. Okay, I cannot say my title is recipe for poha, and my description says recipe for lasagna, and my content is saying recipe for butter chicken. So if this kind of like disparity is there, the Google will think you as what is spam website and push you down. Okay, then the URL structure. And in the URL structure, you have to say that there should be words and not hashes or just numbers. Okay, so like how we saw newtonschool.co/launchpad. So the launchpad tells thus the URL is telling more about the page than any other thing. So URL is the first view that is there. So if I had written newtonschool.co/123456790, it is telling nothing about me about the page. So Google, if both of the pages are similar, what we say content, the one with the good URL structure will come up, then the bad URL structure, then the trust assigned to the page. This is really, really, really important. Okay. And the other thing, then it's not, the thing is like, how do you build the trust with the Google? Okay, the trust is built by putting on the third and the fourth part, good content on the page, unique content on the page. If you have a page, unique, good content, okay, the trust level will keep on building and you will keep on going higher. If other trusted pages point towards your website, then again your trust level of the website will keep on increasing. Now comes the part of page load time. Okay, now before coming of what we say Java, what we say rendered page, before we always used to have static pages. Okay, static pages used to what we say render, and like they used to literally load time on the static page. But with coming of the JavaScript, okay, the page loading has slowed down. So kind of like we have to make sure that load time of the page is less. If it's a 1 minute is taking just to loading of the page, anybody would not like to come to our website. Okay, so for that purpose, what Google does is lower your ranking on the page, and the pages that load faster with the same kind of like content or something comes up. Then the third part is the time spent on the page and the bounce rate. Like the question that comes up on the mind is how do Google calculate the time, how much time I've spent on the page? Okay, so it's very simple. Like you search, let's say Newton School. Okay, Newton School, or you have searched Hirist, you just clicked on just one link. Okay, after clicking on one link, you kind of like came to the website. You did not like the content. You again came back to the search result page and clicked on another link. The time that lapsed between the clicking of both the links is kind of like the time spent on that page. Okay, and if that time is very small, then we can calculate the bounce rate. Okay, like 10 people came to my website. Eight of them did not, just spent 1 second. Two of them spent more time. Then bounce rate is 80%. So simple. The next is the clicks on the search result. Okay, so when I talk about the clicks on the search result, so when my like I search something Newton School or pay after placement, sorry, intershare agreement, okay, or pay after placement. So my page come there. Okay, if I kind of like click on that my website and go, and not many other people come and are clicking on Newton School website. Okay, so that way my page ranking will keep on going up and up and up. Okay, now here the question is sometimes what happens, this is very the click events and are very regional specific. Okay, even search results are region specific. Okay, so like I live in Bangalore. Okay, and I'm talking about Wonderla. Okay, I don't know how many of you guys know about Bangalore Wonderla or not. So Wonderla is a amusement park. Okay, and if I'm searching Wonderla, okay, Google will know that I belong to Bangalore. I'm searching from Bangalore from my IP address, and then it will show Wonderla of Bangalore at the top. If let's say there is some other Wonderla in Bombay or Delhi, that will come afterward. If I'm searching the Wonderla keyword in what we say Delhi, then the Wonderla of the Delhi will come up and others will come down. This is how kind of like the geographical ranking of the pages are done. Okay, then there are a lot many other things that are there, like traffic, authorship, how up to date page is. These kind of things affect what we say your page ranking also. These are kind of like a very few things that you can do to improve the ranking of your page. But the second, third, and the fourth are and fifth also are kind of like the most important, which kind of like tell the title and description, the content of the page, and the URL structure. So this is so guys, I will be ending here. Okay, you guys can get the link from this into Newton School LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, and our Newton School Instagram page. So I hope you enjoyed. I have like we have like 5-10 minutes left. So over to Vibhor to ask more question. And also we have openings at in the product role and the technical role. So please go to our Newton School LinkedIn page and do apply. And send your, if you are interested in product role and technical role, please send your resume at career@newtonschool.com. Thank you very much. Over to you, Vibhu.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gaurav. I'll also mention this email ID in the chat box. If you could sort of repeat so that these folks can share their resumes. It's careers at.
Careers@newtonschool.co.
I just did. Okay. So guys, I think you can see the email ID in the chat box. If you guys, if you guys would like to apply to Newton School, you can send in your CVs there. Okay, so we'll get right to the questions. Thank you so much, Gaurav, for taking the sessions. We have a lot of questions lined up, but we're short on time. So I'll get right into these questions. The first one is, how does Google get rid of spam websites that try to be on top of the search results?
Cool. So like I talked about the crawling part. Okay. So at the crawling part, only these kind of websites, the what we say spam websites, are marked. Okay. If I'm crawling and I'm indexing, okay, I see kind of like anomaly, which saying that the content of the page is not there. Okay, like I talked about the word some Olympics. Okay, if I write some other Olympics, the whole of the page. Okay, so Google bots are intelligent enough. Okay, their machine learning bots are intelligent enough to recognize that these kind of pages are scam pages. So, similarly, like there are like sometimes duplicate pages that happen which are used for phishing. Okay, for those phishing pages never come up on the Google bot, Google search result. Okay, those are they use specifically use meta tags to hide themselves from the Google so that their page is not disregarded and they send you directly to your mail to kind of like come to their website. So these kind of like things are there, but their bots are intelligent enough from the content that I have told you. They recognize the title, the content, and the URL, and specifically the interconnectivity. All these factors are kind of like taken into consideration when determining if the page is a spam or not.
Great, great. Thank you, Gaurav. Okay, so the next question is, what is the role of core web vitals in Google's page experience score?
Core web vitals. Okay, so what I'm understanding from this is like he's trying to talk about the meta tags, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so meta tags, as I have already talked about, are the like the what we say window to my web page. Okay, so those core web the meta tags, the part of the core web vitals are the window to my web page, and they tell information about it. They tell the robots they need to what we say do they need to cross the page or not. Okay, and then there are like I talked about just two or a couple of meta tags, but there are a lot more meta tags. Okay, there are meta tags which tell me is this a page duplicate to duplicate to some other page or not. Okay, sometimes it tells me do I need to redirect from some old page to the new page or not. So these kind of things are there in the meta tags, and these are really important.
Great, wonderful. Okay, so the next question is, you touched upon the points as to how Google local search works, right? What software or processes does Google use to improve this local search?
Okay, so there, so like I forgot about the term that was there. Uh, Okay, I forgot about that term. That was uh, so the thing is, first of all, the thing is Google keep on making what we say improvement to the search. Okay, so the latest search that came up was in I think so the May 2020. But those kind of updates keep on happening, and there's something called rank brain. Okay, so rank brain is the thing, is a machine learning form. Okay, which Google I think so kind of like said that it existed and kind of like ranks with respect to the region specific. Okay, so Google search is like a distributed system. Okay. So one of the distribution center is there in Bombay. Okay. There's one is there in Singapore. One is there in Hong Kong. Similarly, in US, there are a lot many data centers for the Google. Okay. So those kind of like data centers collect the local kind of information. Whenever I search a query, first it goes to my local data center, and from there it kind of like whatever the rank bring algorithm tells me what page to bring up with respect to those localized information. It brings it up, and there's another I think so. Yeah, that's it. So the rank bin is the one of the major algorithm that helps in determining, and the update to these keep on happening quite frequently. Then we know, and this update kind of like because it's a distributed system, it takes about couple of weeks to get affected in all the data centers that are there for the Google.
Great,
Yep.
Gaurav. So I think we have time for one more question and then we'll bring an end to the session. Okay, so the question says adding meta tags forces Google bot not to follow the content of page, or can the bot choose to ignore this? A follow-up question to this is the bot legally bound to honor this tag?
There is no legally foundation right now, especially in India. Okay, but I think so. There are few rules and regulations in Europe because they are quite specific about their privacy. Okay, but they can choose to ignore it. Like I talked about robots.txt. Okay, if there is error in a if there other robots.txt is not present, then they will read up your data. If there is an error in robots.txt, then they will never read your data. Okay, so these kind of like things are there, which kind of like there, but there is no legal foundation, and they can choose to ignore. These are like kind of like recommendation, but since like uh, since these kind of search engines are trustworthy, okay, especially like Google, Yahoo, and other search engines are quite trustworthy. So these will follow, abide by the rules. But there can be some malicious, what we say, search engine, crawler, which won't abide by this rule. But having trust on the Google, they will definitely abide by the rule. But there's no legal foundation on them.
Great. Okay, so guys, I think while we were moving forward in the session, most of the questions that came in the Q&A box were answered, right? But still, if your question was not covered today, please make sure that you share it with me on my email. I'll drop my email in the chat box, and I'll forward those questions to Gaurav sir, and I'll make sure that all of your questions are answered. Okay, now that it's past 5, Gaurav, do you have any closing comments that you'd like to share with the audience before we bring an end to this session?
That's it. Like it was a really good experience. Thank you to Hirist for inviting me to for the talk. Really loved this experience. I hope all of you gained something from this session. You can what we say if you are past session. If you have any questions, you can reach me out to the LinkedIn, and also what we say reach out to Vibhor with those questions, and you can kind of like then he will compile and send it and to me, and I will try to answer those.
Great. Okay, guys, with that, we bring an end to an hour of wonderful insights and experiences. Thank you, Gaurav and Team Newton School for collaborating with us, as well as to all the attendees for joining us and staying with us through this 1 hour. Also, guys, there's a small survey towards the end of the webinar. If you give us your feedback, we'll make necessary improvements in the next one. Thank you so much, guys. See you next time. Have a great weekend. And thank you so much, Gaurav, once again for coming on board and doing this with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vibhor. Okay, guys. Good day. Bye bye.